1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome into another episode of the Talkin G-MAC podcast. I'm your host, Katie Gilhooly, and I am really excited for our guest this week. And before I introduce you to her, I just want to run through some of her accolades. So we've got a 2025 Field Athlete of the Meet and of the Year, a 2026 Field Athlete of the Meet, a four-time All-American, national runner-up in the indoor weight throw last season, and the G-MAC record holder in both the shot put and the weight throw. So we're pleased to welcome Molly Winter from Ashland University to the podcast. Molly, quite the list of accolades, so we're excited to talk about throwing things, as we would like to say.
Yeah, seriously, thank you for having me. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And when you put it like that, it's kind of shocking. You never think about that, but thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, your junior season has been, I think, one to talk about, and I think we're going to do just that. But let's start with last week's GMAC Indoor Championships and the opportunity for the Eagle women to bring home another and the Eagle men to bring home their first. So a sweep for you guys. What was that like? I know that you all have been in that position on the women's side a couple of times, but to be able to do it alongside the men's team, what has this week been like on campus? And congratulations on the 2026 sweep.
Thank you. It was like so exhilarating. We were like, guys, we have to do this. Like, it's going to be so much fun. And we knew coming in, like, the guys were going to be a little bit behind. And we were like, no, like, we got this. Like, we're in our home turf. Like, that's the best part about having the NIS is that we compete there every day. So we know what it's like. We know what the rings are, the runways, the track. So it's super awesome that we were able to compete at home. And like on the guys' side, it came down to the 4x4. So we had like, we were all wearing our yellow shirts and there was just like, looked like little minions all around the track. And then after the boys came in second, all the yellow just swarmed to the finish line. So that was really cool to see. And like, especially coming off of outdoor when we swept outdoor too, also being at home was so awesome. So it was just really exciting. On the girls' side, it was just awesome to see. I feel like there's always highs and lows of competition, but I feel like overall our team did pretty amazing for how we competed.
Well, when you talk about the indoor season, and really it culminates into you're finishing up indoor and it's really right into outdoor for you all. But, what is the preparation like? I know you all are competing throughout the year and there are different things that you all are working on individually in your respective events. But when you all get together for a huge meet like this, when it comes to conference, it really does take points from everyone, whether it's third place points or seventh place. I mean, it really does come down sometimes to the most minute little point in an event. Are those things that you all talk about as a team? I know you all are working on things individually, but it really at the end of the day is kind of that culmination of points. So what are those conversations like leading into a big meet like this as a team to try and get that team title?
I think like AG, our head coach, is a very math oriented guy. So he was like, okay, we got to make up points here, 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 and here. And I think the cool part about it is when, like on day one, Connor Petrus, a male long jumper, wasn't supposed to place, or I like placed lower, placed second. Like in our whole team group chat, everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And then I feel like it just like fueled the fire. Once you see people fighting for those little points, you see them sprinting, collapsing at the finish line, like getting those points, like everyone rushing to the finish line. It just like brings up the energy and makes it a lot more fun. I know like we were fortunate enough that women's shot put kind of like started the day after the multis. So getting that kind of fired up, bringing that energy. It's loud in the NIS when you get those 6-round claps going. So just bringing that fire, being able to hear high jump. We had one of our teammates, Abby Hartzler. She was doing high jump, heard her PR. You just hear it in the NIS, which is so fortunate, and then just keeps bringing up the energy.
Well, let's go back to Friday for you. The weight throw, obviously a first place finish for you. You had your teammate right there next to you in second place. You were able to break your own GMAC record in that, to hold a little bit further of a conference record for yourself. What is it like starting the weekend off with weight throw, and especially when you kind of get to do it alongside on the podium with your teammate like that?
Yeah, it's awesome. I could not like ask for a better teammate. Me and Leslie, every day, practice, we're constantly battling it out. Right now, it's so fortunate. Like we're lifting partners too. So we're always together. And it's like, oh, every day is a battle. But I think like at the beginning, it kind of like scared us a little bit. But I think now it's more like this is awesome. Like we get to be 1 and 2 right now. Like let's go after it. Yeah, her 6 round throw was amazing. Like she threw that and I was like, oh wow, like okay, like I really had to go. Like I just kind of needed that push, but I was like so happy for her, like cheering her on. And that's the best part is like every day we'll battle it out. But like when she has a practice PR, like we're giving high fives. When I have practice PR, we're giving high fives. Like I love being able to cheer her on and support her. And like I told Dusty at the end, I was like, it didn't matter how we finished. We just knew that we were supposed to go 1 and 2, and that's what like we were set out to do. And I would have been happy with either result. So that was nice.
Well, you followed that performance up with a really exciting performance, I think, on Saturday. It was probably the loudest the NIS was maybe before the 4x4 because that's just always a loud event. But you mentioned that shot put kind of got the day started, and you were able to set another conference record so that you now hold both for both events. And took that from Trista Fintel over at Finley. I think based on your emotions and your reactions, that may or may not have been something that you were kind of gunning for. Can you walk us through what it's been like on the shot put side and your emotions to be able to set a conference record like that, and take another first place finish in the shot put on Saturday?
Yeah, I've always loved shot put. It's always been my favorite event. And I think it kind of makes my coach a little mad. Like I always say, like, oh, I'm a shot putter who throws weight and hammer. Like he's like, oh, what are you practicing today? I'm like, shot put, duh. Like it's just been my love ever since high school and continuing to be able to train here. And now I have Kurt Roberts, who fellow Ashland alumni, who has so many accolades. Well, I could go on. Just an amazing coach, and AG too. Like Kurt doesn't go to very many of our meets just because he's a volunteer. So we hang out with AG a lot. But I sat down with him at the beginning of the year, I was like, okay, I have this goal. Like I want to break 1650. And they were like, okay, yeah, but how do we do that? And it was like being more intentional at practice. I feel like coming to practice every day gets kind of hard when you're seeing the same distance over and over again. And like that's what I struggled with was like, it's so consistent, but I'm not seeing anything like go crazy far. And they were like, no, that's what we like to see. I was like, that doesn't really make sense. Like, I'm not really following it. And they were like, no, like, trust us. So this year was really like putting my trust into them and letting them just kind of guide me. And at Akron, when I threw my other above 16, I was like, okay, this is awesome. Like, I know I can do it now. I've seen it. And then last 2 weeks ago at our home meet, I threw 1599 and Kurt was like, I guess I'll just never see you throw 16. I was like, oh, so you cursed me. And like all prelims, I was like, Kurt, like I just can't get 16. Like, why would you say that? He was like, oh no, like it's fine, whatever. And then on that last throw, after Amelia Lutz, who was an amazing shot putter from Hillsdale, we actually were she went to Salina and I went to Marion Local, so we competed together a lot. So knowing her, like watching her throw, I was like, okay, like what's the worst thing that can happen? Like, let's just go in with a little bit of confidence. And I'm not one to normally start my own clap, but I was like, let's do it. Like we're at home. So I think just like starting that clap, I was literally shaking. I was like, okay, you can't embarrass yourself now. And then just kind of setting the scene, going into it, threw it really far. I knew it right when it came off my hand. I was like, oh, wow, okay, this is kind of cool. Like this is probably 16. Like Kurt should probably be happy. And then I got out. He was already jumping before I even got out of the ring. And then we both saw a screen. We saw 1671 and we were just like jaw drop on the floor. It was awesome.
Well, it was certainly amazing to kind of watch all of that come to fruition. I think the throws are always one of the favorites because of just the anticipation as to what is going to happen. But one of the the louder field events, I think, at times. So with all of the clapping, as you mentioned. So you talked a little bit about AG, and he's obviously the head coach, but works with the throwers a lot. He has the resume to kind of back that up as far as competing in 3 Summer Olympics. What is it like learning under him and having him to kind of confide in? And I know he leads the whole program, but to have a head coach that has throws experience like he does.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I've told him multiple times, I was actually recruited underneath Judd. And so I never actually got to have a season with Judd. But then Alex, who was the intern, and was like, "Oh yeah, AG's coming. He's gonna be awesome." And I like told him, I was like, "Who's AG Kruger?" And they were like, "Oh, he's gonna be so good. Don't worry about it." So it was kind of definitely scary coming into college, not knowing who your coach is gonna be, especially your throws coach is what you've come to, and like the whole reason I came to Ashland. But like he's been amazing. Like I can't say anything bad about him. He cares about you so much. Like I'll have the dumbest question and he'll be like, "Okay, here, you just have to do this." And I'm like, "Okay, but like how?" He's like, "You'll just feel it." And it's like he knows my body better than I do. Like I'll be feeling bad or throwing bad one day. He's like, "Well, you did this yesterday." I was like, "Okay, yeah, but like I felt fine. Like when I lifted, like I felt fine." He's like, "No, like it's gonna take a toll on your body." I would just say that like he is so knowledgeable, and like being able to grow with him. Like my first year, my cues were so simple, and to now we can like really get down to talk about like what position I need to change, what turn, like even in shot put, like what I need to do. And even like our other assistant coach, Rachel, she obviously has amazing accolades as well. And like the way her and AG work together and care about you is just like amazing. Like I can't say anything bad about them.
You mentioned Coach Logan, Judd Logan, who unfortunately passed away in 2022 while he was leading the program, recruited you to this also heavily in the throws area. What impact? I know you never got to compete under him, but he still talked about, and I think is still so very much a part of this program and this team. Can you explain to those who may not be familiar with that story what impact Coach Logan has had and what influence he still has on the program so many years later?
Yeah, obviously I can't speak on like a personal level. Like I knew him for about 4 to 6 months, I think it was. But he would like text me like it was like Halloween. He was like, "Happy Halloween from Ashland Throws." I was like, "Okay, this I didn't know this is like what coaches do." And he like texted me, he saw a video of me on Twitter. He was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Like I can't wait for you to get here." I was like, "Okay, like I've never had a coach not care so much because my high school coaches were amazing, but like constantly reach out even though I wasn't in communication with them all the time." Like obviously you see your high school coaches at like school or stuff. Like he was like always reaching out. I would say like obviously we have this like giver meet, and I think the biggest thing is always talking about what I have, I gave, what you save is lost forever. It really is just like an intense feeling of knowing how he has transformed this program and how I get to then help carry on with that. I know me and AG talked about a lot, like when AG came here, he didn't think that he would even break the top 10 on like throwing at Ashland. And fortunately enough, now we have broken like the weight school record, which is so like in its own self so awesome for AG because he got to train here with Judd and train with all those women who are on that top 10 list that like inspired me to watch this. And I just remember AG just being like, how, like we did, it was like just a awe feeling kind of because it's so, the throws here are so amazing. And just bringing that like legacy. Judd's wife, Jill, comes all the time. His brother, Andy Logan, they're always talking to us, staying in contact with us. And it's awesome that we get to continue to share his light and be light givers. And I think like as this upperclassman, like who did know Judd, when we talk about light giver meet and all this stuff, and all my teammates who might not have gotten to know him, like being able to share those awesome stories about how he created such an amazing program and like how grateful I am to be here to build it.
When you talk about Ashland athletics, I think it's really hard not to look at the track and field program and all of the student athletes, Olympians. I mean, I think a lot of times when folks are thinking about the Olympics, they start to think about some major Division 1 schools that some of these Olympians have come from. But Ashland has their fair share of professional athletes that have come out of the track and field program. What does that say about Ashland? And I think, what does it say about the competition in Division 2 in the track and field side that, you know, maybe we can, it might all kind of just be a farce to think that all of those athletes are coming from the Division 1 level.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, um, Katie Moon comes and trains here in the nest over winter break, and it's, like, so crazy when we come back. She's just, like, running her warm-up laps, and we all just, like, wave at her, and then we, like it's so weird to think that, like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, Katie Moon just trains here sometimes," like, she's just over there on the track over there. It's just, like it's so surreal. There's just a amazing legacy in seeing all of it. When you walk in the troop, when you see all those Team USA jerseys that hang up, it's it's so crazy. Like, I don't think it really is, like, impacted, like, how much she just, like, comes and hangs out, and it's like, "That's Katie Moon," like, that's so impressive, and, like, everyone just thinks we're this little duty or D2 school, but, like, we try our best, and it's like the fight, like, we might not get a lot of things here, but we fight for what we get, and I think that shows it all, like, we fight, we train to get to where we are to be at the highest level.
I think that's great. And for those of our listeners who may not be familiar with Katie Moon, she is a Team USA pole vaulter. So hopefully you'll recognize her next time you watch the Olympics because she'll likely be there. But it just an awesome thing to see those who've come before you and the things that they've been able to do with their careers. That really leads me into as we get ready, you get ready. I'm not going, you get ready to go to nationals next week in Virginia Beach. You were there last year and performed well at both the
Mhm.
indoor and outdoor meet last year, and gained that 4-time All-American status, and were the national runner-up in the weight throw in the indoor season. With those accolades under your belt from last season in 2025, how does that change or affect how you go into this 2026 national season?
I wanna say confidence, like, it gives me the ability to know and that, like, I'm just and it's scary too because, like, rankings, like, obviously going in last year, I was ranked number 1, finished number 2, which my competitor threw an amazing PR, it was so fun to watch, it was crazy. But yeah, I think confidence now. My first nationals experience, it was really scary. You go to that meet, you see all these amazing athletes, you get scared, like, little freshman me was like, "Oh, I don't like, these people are amazing," like and now being there multiple times, you make friends with your competitors, and I think that's the funnest part, is that, like, I know these girls now, I know the GV girls, I know the MSSU girls, like, they're not scary anymore, they're friends, and, like, everyone I want them all to do their best. Like, competing is fun, but it's only fun when everyone's on their best day. Like, I love when round 6 is so exciting. I love when everyone has their best days, and I hope that, like, it translates over. Like, when you see someone throw a really far throw, you're gonna think the same thing. So it just makes it more fun when everyone has their best day. So, yeah, I would definitely say confidence, like, I know what I'm getting into now, I know what I need to do, I know, like, how you have to check in and wear this jersey and do this and that. It's not as lax as like a normal meet. And I think that's the scariest part right away. But now, like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I have my teammates with me. Leslie's going to be competing with me. It's going to be awesome. If I get nervous, I just go chat it up with her. Same thing if she's nervous. We know how to compete together. So it's awesome that we get to compete at such a high level together.
Well, you come into the shot put tied with the second highest seed with 18.26 meters, and in the weight throw you're the top seed with 21.45 meters. I think you talked a little bit about, I was going to ask you about the pressure, those seed marks and those rankings and the throws, and if you get on TFers and look at all the things that everybody's done, how do you internally or personally deal with some of the pressure that comes with having some of the best throws in the division over the course of a year?
I would say I'm definitely Tifer's biggest fan. I think I check it every day, even if there's not like a track meet. It's like, oh, it's Tuesday. I should probably see if anyone's changed. No one changed. There's no track meet going on. But yeah, like it's nice to know that I have that ability, and it gives me a good sense of like I know where I can be and what I can do. So if my first throw doesn't go fine, I know that I have 21 meters in me. I know that I have 16 meters in shot put. Like I know what I have and like what I can give. So that's kind of nice, that reassurance. But like obviously anything can change any day. It's different now because everyone's peaking kind of. Everyone's built to throw far right now. And I think that's the scariest part is everyone can throw far. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
How is it having fellow teammates with you? There's over 50 GMAC student athletes who are headed to Division Two nationals. You compete alongside some of those people, whether it be in your events or not. The ability to have some familiar faces there, and you talked about some of the other Midwest schools or national schools that you've met over the years at nationals.
Mhm.
How does that help your comfortability going into a huge meet like this?
So much better. Like seeing Jess from Hillsdale and those Hillsdale girls, knowing I've thrown against them, knowing that I'm able to like, okay, yeah, like I've competed with them. I know I can talk to them while we're sitting there. Like, because when you just sit there and you clerk and you check in, you have to sit there for like 30 minutes. It's like the scariest 30 minutes ever. Everything's going on, but you're like focused on one thing. That was my biggest fear my first year. I was like, I just have to sit here. But yeah, being able to talk to those people and like knowing that I have my teammates when I get up in the morning and eat breakfast and I'm not by myself and I can sit with my coaches and they know not to just like always talk about track. That's the nice part, is that we do have such amazing connections outside of track that we don't have to talk about track the whole time. And that's awesome because sometimes you just need a little break. Like when you are going to be competing at the highest level ever, maybe we don't talk about track at breakfast. Maybe we talk about, I don't know, like family. Like that's just better, and knowing them enough that we can have those like small conversations is much better than just like, so what are we going to throw today? Like it's 8 a.m. I'm just trying to eat my breakfast. So it's good to have those other people that I know them. I'm familiar with them. I'm going to a new place. Like I've never been to Virginia, but I'm not going with new people. I have my community with me.
Well, hopefully, a little bit of confidence from the Ashland Eagles coming off a conference championship headed in to nationals. We wish you guys the best of luck, Molly, and we appreciate your time today. Congratulations on
Thank
all of
you.
your accolades thus far this year, I'm sure, and hoping for a few more before the year is up. But we appreciate your time today and your insight into the throws situation at Ashland and all that goes on at the NIST throughout the year. So best of luck next week in Virginia Beach, and we'll be rooting for you from Indianapolis.
Thank you so much.